That's Charlie Kirk. Must be Scottish along the lines with a name like Kirk. Been assassinated yesterday overnight in the UK, kind of thing. It's never good to see somebody lose their life, man, especially if it's just because they might support Celtic over Rangers or vice versa, you know. It's all good in the hood to shout at each other and all that jazz, man, but when it comes to ending people's time on this planet because they've wound you up because they think Celtic are better than Rangers, and we just know that's not true. Now, what annoys me, right? Well, it annoys me that people are driven so fucking batshit crazy with this whole fucking social media landscape that we now live in, that they're willing to take pot shots at people. But what annoys me is the people that try and not try, they're trying to gain politically from it. I give you Donald Trump. He's out there saying it's the radical left demonising people they disagree with, calling them Hitler and all that jazz, right? And then he's saying the radical left are bad for demonising people they don't agree with, while at the same time demonising people that he doesn't agree with. Crooked Hillary. He was demonising her. He was threatening to jail her. Anyway, so I just want to have a wee look at the landscape that we stay in, right? So that, I was going to call him Chris Kirk there, Charlie Kirk. I've watched more of him this morning than I have done through his whole career. I've just never gravitated towards him. But anywho, it wasn't that long ago that Donald Trump got a pot shot took at him. Now, can you imagine if those pot shots that Donald Trump had took at him, if any of them landed and took Donald Trump out? Would you have had the riots on the street? I think that's a fair question. I think it's even like a possibility. Then, let me just get this right, because this wasn't really, I've only recently heard about this. I never heard about it at the time, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Sometimes I just switch off for the news and social medias, but this was only back in June. Let me show you what I mean. So it was the 15th, 16th of June. Unfortunate name for the reporter on it. Any relation? What we know about the attack on Minnesota lawmakers: 2 dead and 2 survived after 16 shots. There were Democrats involved in legislation in and around. 2 of them dead, a husband and wife. 2 dead and 2 survived 17 bullets. So you can go and get up to speed with that if you weren't aware of that happening. What else do we have? We have, remember Jo Cox? She was murdered 2016, and she was a member of the Labour Party. So the crackpots that are willing to take people's lives for political leanings are all over the spectrum. You get a crackpot from every lunatic party. So when you get either side trying to demonise the other side as like the only ones that are getting, there's crackpots out there getting wound up by all the rhetoric coming out from the spokesholes, the prominent spokesholes and influencers from both camps, from all camps. They're everywhere, and it's social medias that these pigeonholes are getting used for. Everybody's in there blowing smoke up at each other's arseholes, and people are getting driven more extreme and like, oh, aye, high five, and we should do this, we should do that. And people are getting driven to insanity to the extent that they're willing to the extent where they're willing to extinguish people's lives because of political beliefs, or because they think Celtic are better than Rangers. I'm using that as an analogy, if you don't get me. I'm no, in fact, I'm not. So that's why I'm out, man. I'm just in no camp. I just have my own beliefs, and I don't want to force them on any cunt. And other people can be as tuned to the moon, in my view, as they want. And I don't feel the necessity to force my shit on them or fucking change their mind. Everybody's welcome to their own lunacy. In my book. To a certain degree, do you know what I mean? So there's obvious things that throughout the years that's never had to be legislated for, or laws made up for, that are just it's just unacceptable behaviour in the human race, and those things stand true without a bit of paper telling you what to do. See, I'm a fucking poet and I don't know it. So I do what you want. But I'm not letting anybody from any side tune me to the moon using fucking atrocious fucking things like this to do it. You know, to demon it, because there'll be people out there on the right wing getting wound up with this thing and all the rhetoric that will be coming out for all your influencers and talking heads on the internets from the right politics. Going after nuts, going, this is what the extreme left does, this is what they do, they always resort to violence, and you're like, well here's a right wing fucking arsehole fucking doing the exact same shit, but you're no fucking concentrating on that. It's like Bobby Robinson, man, he focuses on fucking crimes of fucking certain demographics, ignores the crimes for fucking other demographics, you know what I mean? Selective editing. Whether they know whether they're doing it subliminally or fucking consciously, who knows? But it's getting done, and you'll see people using this Charlie Kirk assassination along those exact lines, ignoring Joe Cox, ignoring the 4 democunts that were two dead. It was one dude that done the 4 of them. 2 dead and 2 riddled with 16 odd bullets, but survived. God knows how, but they did. Maybe they should fucking start a rap group. It's usually what happens when you survive a hail of bullets in America, innit? You become a rapper. So there's my rant over about this, man. So just I don't know, do what you want. I just try and not put blinkers on when I'm exposing myself to this information. You know, like, people will put their blinkers on and just focus on this Charlie Kirk one. No think, well, what would have happened if Trump got took out? Look what happened to the Democrats, the Democunts the other week. Look what happened to Joe Cox, 2016. The list goes on and on and on, and by the way, it's only a Google away. Use your Google or use your AI and ask about the amount of political violence and see it comes from all angles, man. I mean, some of the worst political violence, and this is political, you could say it's ethical, but religious. But anyway, what I'm talking about is the pro-lifers, which, by the way, is linked into the far right over here through Jim Dawson. He was the guy that launched BNP and got them fucking, raised them millions of pounds and got them a councillor back in the day. He's still in and about all the politics over Northern Ireland now, he's Knights Templar Church and all that jazz. Anyway, that's my rant over. So, I've got my blinkers off. Have you? Get it? Got it. Good. Cat cheese, no cats, no cheese. Maybe only some people with blinkeries on were harmed in this filming.